Hey everyone, it's Brenda with Stampin' Up. Today I have quite a few little cards to show you that I made recently with the Enjoy the Journey 12 by 12 DSP that's in the mini catalog. I'll show you this paper real quick. I know my camera isn't up very high, so bear with me with that. I'll try to show you the paper it comes with. It comes with 2 of each of these sheets. This one's got clouds, and I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Wind, maybe. All right. Starry. I like the starry sky. That's really pretty. This would make really good Christmas cards, I think, with a nativity. That would be really pretty. But, of course, it'll be retired by then. And then there's another one very similar to the last one. This is very pretty, too. The colors are very vibrant. And then you have this. Now this is one of them that I'm using in the cards I'm going to show you. These are easy to use. You just cut them down 6 inches, and then you turn them and cut them at 4 inches, and you will get 6 cards out of these sheets. And the back is like that. And this is the other one that I used. This one I did make my cards go the opposite direction, so I only got 4 cards out of the sheet, but they're still very pretty. All right, so let me show you the cards I made. I have 2 of each of these, so these are different colors. I thought these really turned out really cute. And inside I stamped more mountains and a sentiment. So those are 2. Then I did these 2. All right. And I did the same thing with the mountains. I left this blank because it's a thank you card. And then these 2, thinking of you. Again, I left it blank, because you never know what you want to write in a thanking of you card. It could be a sympathy card. It could be something else. I'll stamp something later. So all of these cards were made with that one sheet of paper that I just cut up. All right. So those are from one sheet. The other sheet I made cards that are a little bit different. This was one of the first ones I made. All right. Here's another one. And then this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to make another one of these today, but in a different color. Okay. So for these cards, you do need, of course, the paper. Fabulous Frames dies. I use this picture frame type die for this. I really like this die. It's kind of neat. These are some really fun dies. I haven't really played with much of them. I've used this one, and I used this one, of course. But so you need that. And cardstock. Some of them you see I have vellum around the edges. So if you want the vellum look, you need to have the vellum. Some of them have vellum. Some of them do not. Most of them don't. So here are the 3 with the vellum. All right, and then the rest of them do not have vellum. All right, and then so for these cards, I used Grassy Grove. All right, for the sentiments. For Mountains of Thanks, I used The Greatest Journey, which is the stamp set that comes with the bundle for this paper. All right, and then Thinking of You and You Truly Inspire Me come from Beauty of Friendship. And that's what we're going to be using today as well, as Beauty of Friendship. And the sentiment on the inside is I'm so happy I found you, and that comes from Friends Are Like Seashells. The mountains that I stamped is from Mountain Air. If you don't have this set, this is a really cool one. I really like it. I'm going to be very sad if they retire that, which I have a feeling they might, but who knows? We'll find out soon. Okay, so let's get started. This is going to be a very quick, easy card to make. So what you need is a piece of cardstock. This is Melon Mambo, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25 for your base. All right. All right, we are doing this one. So you need your DSP, which is cut to 3.5 by 4.75. Now, the thing about this, you can position it differently if you want to. So pay attention to where you want the cut lines. It doesn't have to be exactly this, but it does fit on the back of the frame perfectly if you cut it to this size. But you may want to adjust it. Like this, I cut differently than I did this one. I meant to cut them the same, but I kind of accidentally cut off too much of the top instead of cutting it off the bottom of this one. All right. So, and then you're going to need, for the inside, a piece of white cardstock, 4 by 5.25. And you're going to need a piece of, I'm using Crumb Cake today, another piece of cardstock. It does not have to be this exact size, but mine is 4 by 5.25, and that is to cut out the frame here. All right. So that's all we're doing. It's so super easy. Okay, so what we're going to do, obviously we have our base already cut and scored and folded. I actually did the liberty of doing my own little frame already, so I've got that ready to go. And the DSP is perfectly cut, which is going to go right behind here. All right, so this is super, super easy. This is all it's going to be. Of course, if you want your cardstock for your vellum cardstock, you're going to want to make that about 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then, of course, our white cardstock is going to go in the inside. All right. So I forgot to leave out my little mat, so I might get ink on, glue on my mat. I usually use my little silicone craft mat, and I always misplace that. Anyway, you can glue this on, which is, if you're cutting it to this size, glue works very well. If you cut it a little smaller, some of the other ones, I wanted to line it up so that it was right on the edge. And if you do that, you're going to cut it a little differently. And when I did that one, I actually used tear and tape and just kind of put little pieces around the edge to hold it on there. And that worked pretty well too. But today we're going to be gluing, so I'm going to get my sticky glue here. And I'm just going to put a little glue around the edge. And you do need to get kind of close to the edge because it doesn't come all the way out. And then just line this up so that it is centered. Like that. All right. Now, I know I'm going to regret it if I wipe that off with my fingers, which that's what I usually like to do, but I'm going to use some paper towel. All right, so that's that. You're going to center this on here, but before we do that, let's take our sentiment, which is from Beauty of Friendship, and our Memento ink. I forgot to tell you, Memento ink and Melon Mambo is what we're using today. So Memento, and we are going to ink up this sentiment stamp. All right, for the front. And just line that up right here, like so. Okay. And then, while we're stamping, we'll get this. Now this, you know what else you're going to need is a piece of scrap paper, because just in case your mountains come over the side. They might, because you're going to take this and you're going to put it along the bottom. And so some of it will probably stamp off. Oops, I'm sorry. This wasn't even on the thing, on camera here. You're going to stamp this at the bottom. And so some of it's probably going to get stamped off just a little bit. So you take your mountain and ink it up with Melon Mambo. All right. All right, and then just stamp it right on the bottom. White on white is kind of hard to see. All right, just like that. All right, and then our sentiment on the inside is the "I'm so happy I found you." And so I have that on my block. Ink that up and put that right in the middle. Okay. And then we just glue these together. So we get the sticky glue back out. All right. Put that on the inside. And then we're going to put our front right here. Now I do like to try to get a little bit of ink, glue on all of the edges, but it probably doesn't really matter since we used glue. We probably don't need it on the brown, but you can do that if you'd like. Just like that. And just center that like this. And that's it. See how easy that was and how beautiful. It really turned out nice. Now, of course, if you're a bling person, you could add some bling. You could add some Wink of Stella. You could put ribbon or string around the frame before you put it on. You could do any of that. So here's our 2 cards. And so here are all these cards. I know I can't fit them all on here, but there's just so many that I made. And there we go. Thinking of you. Mountains of thanks. Wow. And that was just 2 sheets of cardstock. DSP, I mean. So that is it for today. Here is my hostess code for March. And stay tuned because I have a little exciting announcement to make. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And I will give the details on my next video. Probably my next video, but in the next day or 2, I will be putting that out for information. Have a great day and God bless. Bye-bye.